All right, let's talk about one of the most terrifying documents in all of history. We're going to dive into a simple list, a list that turned Roman law into a weapon and turned neighbors into murderers.
I want you to really think about that for a second. What if the very system that's supposed to protect you, the one designed to guarantee justice, suddenly put a price on your head?
Because for thousands of Roman citizens, this wasn't some philosophical question. In 82 BC, this was a brutal state-sanctioned reality. So how on earth did it get to this point?
Okay, picture this. You're a wealthy Roman citizen. You're taking a walk through the Forum, the heart of your entire world. But today, something's different. There's a new notice posted up on the wall. A crowd's gathered, people are whispering, pointing. You kind of push your way through to see what the fuss is about. And then, your blood just runs cold. Because there, written in stark black letters for everyone to see, is your name. Now, this kind of terror, it doesn't just spring out of a vacuum. The Roman Republic was literally tearing itself apart at the seams, and it was all fueled by this incredibly bitter rivalry between two of its biggest, most powerful generals. On one side, you had Gaius Marius. He was a hero to the common people, the champion of the Popularis faction. And on the other side, Lucius Cornelius Sulla, a brilliant general who had the backing of the wealthy, aristocratic Optimates. Their personal feud dragged all of Rome into a bloody civil war. And the fight for control was just this insane, violent back and forth. First, Sulla does the unthinkable and marches his own army on Rome. Then, while he's away fighting in the east, Marius takes the city back. Finally, Sulla returns with his legions, crushes all of his enemies, and in 82 BC, he gets himself declared dictator, giving him absolute power. All the old rules of the Republic, they were completely shattered.
So with total control, Sulla wasn't just happy with defeating his enemies. No, he wanted to eradicate them, their families, their allies, their fortunes, everything. And to do that, he invented a brand new, absolutely horrifying tool of state power. He called it the prescription. You know, the official definition here sounds almost clinical, doesn't it? But let's be crystal clear about what this was. It was a state-sanctioned hit list. It was a legal document that made murder not only permissible, but patriotic.
And the process itself was just chillingly simple, almost bureaucratic. Step 1, your name goes up on that wall in the Forum. Instantly, you lose every right you have as a citizen. You're an enemy of the state. Anyone can kill you, with no consequences. In fact, the state wants them to. And just to sweeten the deal, your entire fortune is confiscated and put up for auction.
And this right here, this shows the dark genius of Sulla's whole plan. He offered a reward of 2 talents of silver for the head of any man on that list. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 24 years' salary for a common soldier. It was a life-changing amount of money. Suddenly, your friends, your neighbors, maybe even your own slaves, had a massive, massive financial reason to betray you and kill you. But you have to understand, this was so much more than just a political purge. This was the systematic dismantling of the very idea of Roman law, the bedrock that the Republic had been built on for almost 500 years. The long-term damage was just catastrophic. The rule of law basically vanished, replaced by the rule of the sword. Huge personal fortunes, like that of the infamous Marcus Crassus, were built by buying up the property of the murdered for pennies on the dollar. It sent a clear message to everyone. Real power didn't come from the Senate anymore. It came from whoever had an army loyal to them. The very meaning of being a Roman citizen was cheapened, and an entire generation of potential leaders was just wiped out. The crazy thing is, the proscriptions didn't end with Sulla. He eventually retired and died peacefully, if you can believe it. But the weapon he created, this horrible idea, it was out there now. He had literally written a playbook for tyranny, and it cast a long, dark shadow over the last decades of the Republic. Sulla showed future tyrants exactly how it was done. So decades later, when the second triumvirate, that's Octavian, Antony, and Lepidus, when they needed cash and wanting to get rid of their own rivals like the great orator Cicero, what do you think they did? They published their own prescription list, an even longer one. Sulla had shown them the way. Sulla's kill list is just a chilling reminder that laws and rights are only as strong as the people and institutions that are willing to protect them. And it leaves us with this timeless, really unsettling question. When power becomes absolute, what is the law really worth?